Warning, this story contains strong language, violence, sexual themes, and sensitive topics, and may not be suitable to sensitive viewers. Soulbound, Chapter 3, Back to School. It was about 7:25 in the morning. Sebastian went upstairs and to Ophelia's room to wake her up for school. They have known each other for a few days now, and they've been getting along very well. Sebastian gently shook Ophelia until she was awake. "Morning, my lady. Please get up so you can join me for breakfast, and I will take you to school," he said. Ophelia yawned. Okay, she said lazily before sitting up so she could wake up properly. Sebastian went downstairs to make breakfast for her. He hummed softly to himself as he cooked. Ophelia got up and walked to her closet to get some clothes for the day. She picked out some warm clothes, since it was still kind of cold outside, and she put it on before going to the bathroom to brush her hair and teeth. Once she was done getting ready, she went downstairs to eat. When she was done, she packed her bag and went with Sebastian to school. Ophelia was holding Sebastian's hand as they walked together. She was a bit nervous to go back to school, but she figured it would be fine. After all, it's only been a week since she was there last. Sebastian smiled at her. "I will pick you up again later, all right? Have a good day at school, my lady," he said, and Ophelia nodded. "Okay. See you later, Sebastian," she said, waving at him before going inside to go to class. After a few hours, the bell rang, and it was time for recess. So Ophelia went outside to go play. She saw a few boys playing a game, and she went up to them, wanting to join them. "Hey, can I play with you guys?" she asked. One of the boys scoffed. "Girls can't play. This is a boy game," he said. But it looks fun." "I said no. Now run off to play princess with the girls or something," he said. "This is not fair," she cried out. The boy rolled his eyes. "Too bad. Girls can't play boy games." He then noticed she had tears in her eyes, and he began to laugh. "Oh my God, she's crying. She's such a wuss," he said before walking past her, but intentionally shoving her to the ground hard. Ophelia cried more. This time it was from pain. After a minute or so, she managed to get up, and she ran to the bathroom to see the damage the fall had caused. She lifted her pants a bit, and noticed many dark bruises had started to form on her legs, and even a few on her hips. The first thing she thought about was how Sebastian would react to seeing them. She didn't want to think about it, thinking he might get mad for some reason. During the next few classes, Ophelia couldn't focus on the lessons. The words of the bully was ringing in her ears, and it hurt to move her legs. But she tried to hide it. She was trying to be tough about it all. Once classes were over, Sebastian picked her up from school. During dinner, Ophelia was pretty quiet. "So, how was school?" Sebastian asked. Ophelia hesitated. "It was fine," she said quietly. "Did something happen?" he asked, noticing she wasn't as cheerful. No, it's fine, really." He sighed. "If you insist," he said, though he couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong. "May I go to bed early?" she asked, and Sebastian looked over her with concern. "Are you tired, my lady?" Yeah, school was exhausting." Sebastian knew this was a lie, of course, but he didn't know the best approach. "You should probably bathe before you're off to bed. A shower if you want to be quicker," he said. Her heart sank to her stomach. If she were to undress, he'll definitely see the bruises. "Is it okay if I do everything myself? I need to, be independent and all, right?" She chuckled awkwardly. He sighed. "If that's what you wish, my lady," he said, and after dinner he helped prepare the bath, so she could do the rest herself. Afterwards he stepped outside in case she needed anything. Ophelia got in the bath to wash herself, being gentle around the bruises since she didn't want to make them worse somehow. Sebastian was waiting outside until he heard a thud and a cry of pain coming from the bathroom, so he rushed in, seeing Ophelia on the floor, and he quickly helped her up. "Are you all right?" he asked, with some alarm in his voice. She whimpered. "I tried to fetch a towel and it slipped, that's all," she said, and Sebastian stared at her for a moment, noticing the bruises. "You had a very long and tiring day. Allow me to help you dry off," he said. Ophelia pulled back. "Get off! I said I wanted to do this by myself," she said firmly, and Sebastian growled softly before gripping her wrist with one hand and cupping her face with the other, forcing her to look at him. "This is not the time for you to be stubborn and secretive. You humans are pathetically weak, and a tiny germ entering a tiny scrape can get you deathly ill. You are injured and need assistance. Now allow me to help you," he said firmly. Ophelia's eyes widened in surprise, and she kind of just nodded. Sebastian gently dried her off and helped her get dressed before taking her to her room. Ophelia got on the bed and got under the blankets. She felt a bit ashamed. "Tell me what happened at school today," he said, and she nodded, explaining everything. Someone dared to touch her? They should get what they deserve, he thought to himself. "How about you take the day off tomorrow? I might be able to help deal with this." She simply nodded. "Okay." She seemed in thought. "Is something on your mind, my lady?" he asked. You said you humans. Are you not human?" she asked, and he shook his head. "No, I am a demon. But I assure you, you have nothing to fear. Miss Rhea asked me to look after you, and that's exactly what I shall do," he said. She nodded. "Okay, that's all I wanted to know for now. Good night, Sebastian," she said. "Good night, Ophelia," he replied.